Happy Saturday, my denture wearing friends. It's Kyle, and I am here to bring you a short video on the differences that I have found now that I've had dentures for 75 days. Um, I remember the day before my extraction day. I was full of trepidation. I was nervous. I was anxious. I simply wanted to get those old rotten teeth ripped out of my mouth and begin my denture journey. That's what I was all about. So come the morning of my extraction day, super excited, ready to go in, change my life, have those 28 teeth taken out of my mouth, and then come to find that my transitional denture was made incorrectly and it did not fit. That was my day one. That was the fun that I had to look forward to, with the getting denture learning curve, which was made that much curvier by the fact that my transitional or immediate dentures were way too big for my mouth. Even after my teeth had been extracted, even when my swelling was at its greatest, those things floated around. My gum line certainly did not fill the trough. The palate was made incorrectly. So day one, I didn't have much hope that I would ever be able to master these things. So what did I do? Well, I knew that there was a YouTube community out there. I had actually spent a ton of time watching denture vlogs, starting with Callan Jacks, then finding Bill Westland, finding My Reason to Smile, My Beautiful Smile, Margaret, people like that really calmed my nerves, subdued my fears, kind of let me know that there were people out there going through the same thing that I was, and that it would be very important, incredibly imperative, that I arm myself with the appropriate knowledge that I needed to be successful with my dentures. And in my case, since I had the extra added bonus, the extra added challenge of a denture that did not fit, I really had to do some research. I really had to do my homework in order to get my dentures to a place where I could begin to learn what it was like to live with this new prosthesis. So what was that road like? What was that journey? What did it entail? How did I get my dentures up to speed? I went for my first checkup appointment after having my teeth extracted and my transitional dentures placed in my mouth about 7 days after I had that surgery done. It was at that point that I let my dentist know that it was a struggle to keep the dentures in my mouth. I had little to no suction on the top plate. The bottom plate was big and it floated around on my gum. I was at that point told that I could use adhesive. So I did that. Actually, I used tons of adhesive, copious amounts. I'm talking, a quarter of a tube of Fixodent at a time for a couple reasons. I needed to fill the void in the denture so that I could create suction. And since my mouth was constantly changing, the hard acrylic of those dentures was rubbing up against my gums. So I had to be strategic about where I placed the adhesive and how much adhesive I would use. It was a learning experience, and it was very messy, and I learned a lot about why I don't like to use adhesive on my dentures, and that stems from the fact that it is messy. It is very difficult to remove at the end of the night. It can get very, very messy while you're eating, and if food gets underneath of your dentures and starts to mix with that adhesive, that creates some sort of concoction that is disgusting and vile that I never really enjoyed having to clean out of my dentures after I ate or at the end of the day. The other thing about adhesive, hey, if your mouth is feeling bad and you want to give it a rest for a moment, you can't take the dentures out because you have to start from scratch with your adhesive at that point. And that is no fun. I found out very early on in this denture journey, within the first 2 weeks, that adhesive was not something that I wanted in my future, and that I would do anything that I could to eliminate that from my denture life. Fast forward about 2.5 weeks into my denture journey. So what are we looking at? We're looking at about day 17 to day 20, 2.5 to 3 weeks. That was when I was made aware of a product called Denture Fit. And what Denture Fit simply is, it is a soft silicone product that is tasteless and odorless that was brought to market to help denture wearers like you and me help our dentures to fit better and help our dentures to be more comfortable and therefore more effective for us, the denture wearer. Let me tell you, Denture Fit is a game changer, and it changed my life from the first time that I was able to use it. Before Denture Fit would actually sell me the product, I needed to assure them that I had been cleared for a soft reline from my dentist, since I still had healing holes in my mouth left over from where the teeth were extracted. I got that clearance. And to the credit of the people at Denture Fit, and let me just throw a couple names out there at you, Juliet and Tommy, they walked me through my first application of Denture Fit. They held my hand through the entire thing. They made it fun. They made it informative. And more than that, their product gave me the ability and the hope that life with dentures would be tolerable, acceptable, and better than the life that I previously led with my bad natural teeth. So, Denture Fit was a game changer for me at about 2.5 weeks into my denture journey. What can I tell you? I have become very good with lining my dentures, both top and bottom, with Denture Fit. As a result, I haven't used adhesive since that day that I used Denture Fit for the first time. Okay, well, that's a little bit of a lie. At that point, I was going through some job interviews, and I still wasn't 100% confident that I could maintain the dentures in my mouth simply with a well-fitting pair of dentures. So I glued a couple times. I used adhesive a couple times before I went on interviews, just so that mentally I was secure in the fact that my dentures wouldn't move and that my new prospective employers would not know that I had dentures. Not that I really care that people know. I simply didn't want to have to get into a backstory of why I needed dentures, especially with a new employer. So I glued a couple of times. But at this point in my journey, and I don't mean to jump ahead to day 75, I will tell you I am extremely confident. I feel great about how I can maneuver my dentures without adhesive, whether I be eating, yawning, coughing, sneezing, or simply speaking. I can assure you that life without adhesive is possible, It may be a bit more difficult at the beginning because you're going to have more muscle control, especially to keep your bottom denture from moving around while you're eating and things of that nature. But it is possible, it is doable, and very, very much more preferable to living the life that a denture wearer leads when they're constantly gluing with adhesive. So yeah, as you progress down this road, as you progress on this journey, and as I've said, I am now on my 75th day of this journey, you become more confident. You become more skilled with all of the critical things you need to accomplish on a daily basis with your dentures. The two most important ones, eating and speaking. I was scared at the beginning. I listened to my speech. I was making denture video blogs, and I didn't sound like myself. Everybody out there was very nice, and I thank you for that, saying, oh, I can't tell that your speech is off, or you sound very good for having dentures as long as you've had. But I myself knew that it was not the way I normally sound, the way I normally speak. So I made a conscious effort to practice on a daily basis. I made a conscious effort to video myself so that I could hear what other people were hearing. Also, in the act of videoing myself speaking, I was able to see what people saw when I spoke and was able to course correct on some things that I was doing that looked a bit odd on camera, and therefore must have looked a bit odd to people that I was interacting with in real life. So I've learned how to manipulate these things. I've learned how to speak correctly. I am getting much better at the eating game as well. And that, if you followed my journey at all through these videos, you know that eating has been a huge struggle for me. This past week, I had successes, though. I actually was able to gain 4 pounds over Father's Day week. And that was simply for the fact that I have gotten better at manipulating food in my mouth. The muscles that I use to hold my bottom denture in place and to understand the movements occurring when I am chewing, I've gotten much better at that. So eating is not such a challenge anymore. Am I where I want to be with it? No. I still haven't gotten up the courage to attack an apple. I just don't think I'm there yet, simply for the fact that I'm still in these transitional dentures. I am using soft relines and denture fit to make them fit, but my mouth is still changing constantly. So I get maybe a day and a half of super excellent fit and seal on my dentures before I need to go into another snug up phase with my denture fit that I use religiously in my dentures. Like I've told you guys a million times. But to me, I keep talking about it because it has made such a big difference with my dentures. What else can we look forward to? Well, you're not going to have the same level of anxiety about your dentures falling out or people discovering that you wear dentures on day 75 as you did on day 1. The things that I thought about on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm like, man, people got to know that these are fake teeth. I'm speaking terribly. I can't eat a darn thing. Man, what the heck did I do? Fast forward to 75 days in, I'm like, man, nobody knows that these things are fake. They look so much better than my natural teeth had looked for 30 plus years. Nobody can tell when I'm speaking that I have dentures in my mouth. And you know what? When I'm eating, people aren't staring at my mouth seeing what's going on with my teeth. Just like I don't sit across from somebody and study the way they're chewing their food or the strategy that they are employing in order to eat. We just don't do that. We are simply hypersensitive at the beginning of our denture journey to the fact that we have a large prosthesis in our mouth. And since it's so foreign to us, it simply feels to the rest of the to us that the rest of the world sees that foreignness going on with us. But I assure you, that is not the case, my friends. So I know I got on here, I rambled a lot, I talked a lot about, my denture journey 75 days in. I just wanted to hit on some differences for you newbies out there to know that your experience changes quickly and it gets better rapidly. So just understand that that light of the tunnel, that light at the end of the tunnel is real, that you will reach it, but like anything that's important to us, anything we want to do well in our lives, we have to put our heads down, we need to do our due diligence, and we need to ensure that we are doing everything on our end to make this process simpler, easier, and simpler to adjust to. Guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope some of the things I said you could relate to. I will be back next week with some fresh videos. Again, thank you taking time out of your busy day to watch. This is Kyle. Remember, always be a proud denture wearer. Take care.